Amber Heard's trends, her non-verbal communication trends, the habits that she actually displays from a non-verbal communication perspective. This is what we're going to be looking at in this video. These trends are here for everybody to see, yet nobody is actually picking up on them. Not the judge, not the audience, not the TV reporters, not the other body language experts. But when I point them out to you, they are so obvious, you will not be able to unsee them. Moving forward, you'll be like, she's doing it again, she's doing it again, she's doing it again. And this is the trend where Amber Heard lies and her body does something. All right, I released a video yesterday talking about the occasion where she touched her nose. The more footage that I review of Amber Heard, she has a habit of touching her nose when she says something, and there's a lack of synchrony, as in she doesn't actually believe what she's saying herself. Now, if she doesn't believe what she's saying herself and then she touches her nose, that's an affirmation, a confirmation. Yeah, it's locked in that she believes what she's saying is an untruth. What more do we need to at least be able to say, hey, let's question this lady a little bit deeper? Remember, this is what I specialise in, the forensic analysis of the subject's given non-verbal communication signals. Hours and hours just looking at somebody to notice what they do and what they don't do, so I can give a fair and balanced, that's the key, a fair and balanced review of what we are seeing. Remember, I can't make this up. I can't make Amber Heard touch her nose just so I can comment about it, okay? But what I will be doing is bringing in the knowledge that explains why she touches her nose, to explain the context of when she touches her nose, and putting that together to say this is what it means. It's up to you whether you believe me or not. But the data doesn't lie, biology doesn't lie. And we'll also be looking at how Amber's Globus sensation, as if she's been grabbed by the throat, actually proves truthful in one respect, but it could be her downfall, the reason why she's displayed it and then it doesn't appear somewhere later on in the video, gives us a huge insight into the type of narcissistic character that we are actually dealing with, where she goes from performer to authentic. And that's where we see the gap. That's where we see the real Amber Heard. And again, remember, I'm not an Amber Heard hater. I'm well aware that there's people in the Johnny Depp camp, and I'm well aware that there's people in the Amber Heard camp. I don't care about Johnny Depp and I don't care about Amber Heard. The benefit of that is that what I'm doing is coming from an evidence-based perspective. I'm not trying to rile one camp up, I'm not trying to rile the other one up. I don't care. But by not caring, and that's what my job requires me to do, it allows me to give a more fair, a more balanced, and a more accurate description of what's going on. Therefore, if I say I believe someone's telling the truth, I genuinely believe that, and that will be based on evidence. Or, if I believe that someone is lying, again, that will be based on evidence. I try to take all opinion out of that, and I show you why I'm coming up with that conclusion. Remember, if you're into body language, please show the channel some support. Subscribe below, hit the notifications, give us a like, but more importantly, yeah, as well as subscribing and commenting, let me know in the comments. Give me some data what you think. What are your perceptions? What are you picking up on? I'm really interested in that, in the community around the Believer in Bruce channel. I'm really interested in what you are seeing and why you think it is presenting itself, and some of the detail behind that as well. So again, the more comments below, the better. It's a learning environment for everybody that way. So the first bit of evidence that we've got, okay, the first bit of Amber being uncomfortable, which doesn't make sense. It's out of context, okay? It's out of context. It's where she's talking about Johnny's recovery plan. And she's talking about a team that has been assembled, or words along that phraseology, to help Johnny. Now, at the end of the sentence, you'll see she touches her nose. But you'll see also there's some eye blinks as well. So you've got a double cluster, yeah, of negative connotation here. Now, if anything, one would be hopeful that hippocampus, okay, so when she's talking about that, there's a memory recall coming in here. The hippocampus, the emotional memory center. She's recalling a memory, okay, she's recalling that memory. So when you think at that particular time, because it is within context as well, it's like what we should be expecting is some type of optimism, yeah, some type of optimism, like, hey, here was a team and we thought we could help. All right, because that's what she's explaining. All right, it might not have gone the way she wanted, but that, you know, that combination might have come later on. But what should have happened here, if there is truth, if there is synchrony, if there is congruence, and what she's saying she actually believes it, all right, it would have presented itself differently, because what we have here is talking about a team coming in and she shows some discomfort at other people being invited into their circle. Now, is this a control mechanism from Amber? Is the thought of other people encroaching on her subject, Johnny Depp, potentially bringing out of her control? Is that what caused the discomfort in that particular moment there? But again, I can't lie, you can see here, yeah, at the end of that, when she talks about the team, Amber definitely touches her nose. You know, the Pinocchio moment, there is a big deal of uncomfortable feeling that resides within Miss Heard. We don't know why. It shouldn't be there in that context.
On board, and all of a sudden the plan was that this team would be involved in Johnny's recovery.
And then what we've got is the first Globus sensation, that tightening of the throat. Now, we've all been there before. I would like you to just take 2 seconds here, please, okay? And just experiment with me, explore, be curious. Think of a time where you had been emotionally upset. It might have been at the loss of a loved one, a close relative, a friend, something that really tugged at your heart. And you might have gone to the funeral. There's 1,000 examples. I'm just trying to give a specific one. And you're talking about that person. And as you talk about that person, the Globus sensation occurs, that tightening of the throat, where you can't get your words out. Okay, it's a phenomenon that most of us will have experienced at some time in our life, unfortunately. And what we hear here is when Amber talks about, there was 1,000,000 times before when Johnny said he was going to get better.
Team would be involved in Johnny's recovery. So it felt real, it felt serious, I felt like protected. I had already by this point heard 1,000,000 times, it seems like
you actually hear that Globus sensation kicking in. Now, I do believe at that particular point here, remember, there had to be some type of feelings between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Let's be fair and let's be balanced, okay? There had to be some type of connection, some type of feeling, some type of love, yeah, between those two individuals. Some type of relationship was there. So when Amber talks about, there had been millions of promises before, and you hear that Globus sensation.
Already by this point heard 1,000,000 times, it seems like
I do believe that she is telling the truth. The problem for Amber Heard is that when it should also present itself more powerfully, more enhanced, more exaggerated, and I'm going to discuss this later on in the video, it's not there. It is not there. That for me is a real tell. That for me is a real worry. Why does it not present itself? Because we know she feels something, but when it should present itself later on the video, it's not there. And we had this with Prince Andrew when Prince Andrew was explaining when he'd done that absolutely terrible BBC One interview, yeah, and he tried to get the word legal out.
To testify or give a statement under oath if you were asked.
If push came to shove and the legal
he couldn't, because when the word that, the courts, the going in front of a jury was mentioned, that limbic system, the hypothalamus, the thalamus, everything started to trigger in Prince Andrew's head, because he started at that particular moment to envisage himself, in the dock, explaining to the jury, explaining to the judge, being cross-analysed, cross-examined. That's created panic in him, and that's where we got the Globus sensation. So the Globus sensation absolutely is a key factor. It's there, it's true, of a non-verbal communication tell. It's the body reacting to stress and external stimuli, interpreted in a certain way. Boom, we get the Globus sensation. This is what we don't get from Amber Heard later on. Now, interestingly, I've been asked, got loads of messages about, do I deliver seminars? Do I deliver, corporate training? The answer is yes, that I do. If you would want, or if you work for a large organisation looking for, body language, anything to do with performance psychology, and you would like me to come and do a seminar for your organisation, just head across to believeandbruce.com. There's free resources there, but you could also contact my team if you've got any inquiries about me coming to trade for you and your organisation. Unfortunately, we're not doing any individual spots at the moment, but hopefully in the next few months that will be changing. But yeah, seminars, I absolutely do. I've been going all over the world for 20 years now, doing performance psychology and also using how body language can help teams improve their mental health and well-being to get a happier and higher performing team as well. Now, interestingly, about Amber Heard, what I'm also noticing, is it a behaviour? Is it a behaviour, Bruce? There's a trend. Amber Heard is very accurate at remembering. I'm going to be very specific here. And again, in the comments, let me know what you think. Amber Heard is very specific, is very good at recalling stuff that she wants to say, but not necessarily recalling stuff that she's been questioned about or that she might not want to say. Does that make sense? So as if she's got a script in her head. We talked about in the video yesterday when someone stopped her mid-flow and she'd done that sort of child imp, like, anyway, I'll just carry on with what I was saying, shouldn't I? As if she needs to get that script out. However, when someone wants her to ad-lib, I'm just moving with these different phrases in the movie industry here, yeah? Or when someone asks a question that she doesn't want to answer, she's quite vague, or she can't remember it. Yet there's an extreme amount of clarity about what Amber Heard can remember when she wants to offer it. I'm actually going to review some more footage there, but I'm starting to notice that trend, and I may do another video on that just to say about, hey, are you guys noticing this? Let me know below if you've noticed that as well. Now here we've got the second touch of the nose, all right? Now what's really powerful and what's really out of context here, all right, out of context, is that Amber Heard is explaining that Johnny Depp, or in her perspective, used to get really angry when she would go for auditions, or when she would go for, or when she had been invited for auditions and she hadn't communicated this to Johnny. There was a certain type of friction. Now what we've got here is the performer versus the authentic Amber Heard. Because as she's saying about this, you know, I got an audition, Johnny found the sides, which is some type of, you know, maybe it's a pre-seed version of the script that, you know, people would go through. She's calm, she's direct. She absolutely believes, or wants other people to believe, I'll be more specific there, that she is truthful in what she's saying. But what I want you to do is watch at the very end what she does when all the performance is over.
I ask you now to take
bang.
a look at what is.
That's it. It's like I'm performing. The lights have gone off, the camera's on, boom, I got away with that. I got away with that. There is no reason for that uncomfortable feeling to be comfortable enough for her to scratch her nose. Yet again, she does it again and again and again. And then the last one that I want to talk about here is the absence of the Globus sensation. The absence of the Globus sensation. Now, Amber Heard has broken down numerous times on the stand, explaining about those negative memories or those negative activities, those negative interactions that her and Johnny Depp have had, according to Amber Heard. Now, earlier on in the video, when she was talking about, you know, there's been millions of times that Johnny said he was going to get better, and then, you know, I said there was positive emotion there, and I absolutely stand by it.
Already by this point, heard a million times, it seems like
Which means this bit, if you want to believe Amber Heard, you're going to have to work really hard to bypass this evidence that I'm about to give. And what this is now is she's talking about there were certain words or certain labels that her and Johnny would use at that particular time to explain, I don't know, the monster, and I think they called it the monster within Johnny, the monster, the devil, the thing, whatever it is. Now, when Amber's doing this, what would naturally be occurring is for her to remember those scenarios, just like she did when, you know, Johnny's promised a million times, the Globus sensation automatically kicked in, because it's true. There's a feeling there. Now, when she's talking about the monster, that's a very powerful negative memory. You know, Johnny's done this to her, Johnny's done that to her. That's seared into her memory, or it would be if it was true.
Gonna lose that, the devil is all around.
well, the language he used after particularly violent episodes was savage, monster, devil. And so we ended up both calling his other side, the side of Johnny that...
And again, I'm being very careful with my words here, very careful with my words. And if it was true, that hippocampus would be kicking in because she's reliving. She's actually reliving those memories whilst explaining the labels or the titles that her and Johnny used to apply to his alter ego, the other persona, whatever phraseology it is that she uses. But if you notice, instead of that Globus sensation kicking in,
already by this point heard a million times, it seems like
those negative memories being brought back, any type of negative feeling at all, there is zero, and I'm going to repeat this, there is zero change in Amber Heard's baseline.
Well, the language he used after particularly violent episodes was savage, monster, devil. And so we ended up both.
There is no change in her inflection of words. There is no change in her cadence. There is no change in the pitch that she uses due to those negative emotions impacting those muscles around the throat area. It's just not there. It's not acting like it should if what she's saying was true. And what I mean by that is that we know it presented itself. It did. It was absolutely there. For something we could say maybe it's 30%, a bit of hope. Yeah, okay, Johnny's going to get better. I so wish that Johnny could get better. When there's something here like 10 times the power of what she's trying to convey, 10 times the strength, 10 times the energy, it doesn't show up at all. This is why I believe what she's saying here isn't truthful. Or at the very best, we need to question around that. It's not the fact that just the Globus sensation kicks in, doesn't kick in, nothing kicks in. If you're calling someone, oh, the monster's here, or the devil's here, or whatever words, that's a powerful label. That's a powerful memory you should be recalling. I've never called anybody the devil. Yeah. What I'm saying, there must have been some serious activity going there for that devil phraseology to be used. But the fact that there's no baseline change at all, which is very calm, very matter of fact, I'd be jumping all over that if I was Johnny Depp's lawyer. That's where I would question. I noticed the absence of any emotional deviation there. Boom, that'd be the one thing that I would focus on. I do not think she's telling the truth. And again, that's on the data that we've got. I would love to question around it. Something may come out, okay, I get why. But on the basis of what we've seen, and again, I have to be fair and balanced, that bit there, it's not quite stacking up. So again, I hope you enjoyed this fair and balanced video. If you're up for more psychological tips, tricks, techniques and tools, head across to believeandbruce.com, same place you can book me for seminars. We send out a weekly newsletter that's got various processes and skills that you can use to optimize your performance, and also all tips and tricks on body language as well. Who doesn't like being in control of a room? Who doesn't like improving their own confidence? Who doesn't like enhancing their chances at winning in any competition? Also, I'm on Instagram and Twitter if you want to find us across there. But more important than any of this, believe in Bruce. Please remember to be kind to yourselves and each other.